Hey, so a couple of people have been asking me for a little help with their enhance and how to play it in PvP, so I'm just going to go through a little video on just my basic rotation. I'm not going to go through glyphs or talents or anything, really. I'll just link my armory. You can just take my word for it or do what you want. So starting off with buffs, I reckon. Buffs, Lightning Shield, okay, you always want that up. You're not going to be using Water Shield really as enhance. You'll also want to have Wind Fury buffed on your main hand weapon and Flame Tongue buffed on your offhand weapon. Next up, Totems, okay. You always want to be dropping, well, when I drop my 4 at the start, I'm dropping Stoneclaw Totem, Searing Totem, Healing Stream Totem, and Wind Fury Totem. You always want to be dropping Stoneclaw Totem every time you drop totems, so you always want that on cooldown because that just gives you that shield for 16k damage, and that's just incredibly useful. And you need that buff up all the time if you want to be successful as enhance. After you drop that totem, you can instantly put up another totem and you'll keep that buff, so you keep the buff there. And I'd usually drop Strength of Earth totem next up, and that way you're going to get your agility, so you'll get a little bit of a damage buff with that. Okay, coming up to rotation, I'm always going to open with Unleash Elements, okay, so that's just going to give me my attack speed bonus and stuff before I run in, since it's a range technique, range skill. Next up, you're going to use Storm Strike. The reason you do Storm Strike is you're looking for Elemental Devastation procs before you proc your Lava Lash. Next up, I'll proc my Earth Strike because I haven't got Elemental Devastation. That's got more of a crit chance, so that's got more of a crit chance after you proc your Storm Strike. Actually, I might just go through that skill with you guys. Okay. Where is it? Okay, Storm Strike. After you Storm Strike, you get an additional 35% chance to critically strike an enemy with your Lightning Bolt, Chain Lightning, Lightning Shield, or Earth Shock spells for 15 seconds. So the reason you're doing Storm Strike first is to get that buff. Then you're trying to get one of those, trying to get either your Lightning Bolt or your Earth Shock to crit, so you can get your Elemental Devastation buff. And that's just going to give you critical strike chance. Okay, so back to that again. Unleash Elements, running in, Storm Strike. Okay, I still haven't got the buff yet, so I'm going to Earth Shock. Still haven't got it yet. I'll Lightning Bolt. I've got it now, so now I can Lava Lash. Okay, the reason that you want to go through all that trouble is Lava Lash is just your, it's going to be your hardest hitting move as enhance, so you really want to have it. You really want to be proccing that when it's at its best, because it's got a 10-second cooldown, so you really want to be using that to its advantage while it's off cooldown. So the only reason I'd ever proc Lava Lash, unless it's for a kill or something, is when I'm at 5 stacks of Searing Totem, or I've got my Elemental Devastation buff procced. I think that's pretty much all. When something's kiting you, yes, you would be cycling Frost Shock, definitely, instead of Earth Shock, so you're not really going to be getting those procs as much. But remember that when things are attacking you, you're getting Lightning Shield procs hitting them, so you're just as likely to get a Lightning Shield proc to proc your Elemental Devastation as your, well, when they're kiting you. Okay, so like I said, it's all situational. If something's out of 15 yards, you're going to get a freeze on them, and it's going to be really helpful to catch up to mobs. You've got Instant Ghost Wolf, and when I first started, or a lot of the time when I was playing Enhance, I would always run from target to target. I'd be trying to Wind Shear, I'd be trying to cast spells and stuff, or I'd get this far away and not bother really about Ghost Wolfing. It's really important that you Ghost Wolf, okay? If you're this far away, it's not that far, it wouldn't take you long to walk there, but most of the time if something's kiting you, you're going to have some sort of slow on you. And Ghost Wolf, you can't be slowed below 100% movement speed. So it's important that you always change to Ghost Wolf when you can, to just close any distance between you and a target. I got asked about when to proc Shamistic Rage. That's also going to be very situational. It's just, for me, it's when I'm going to take a lot of damage. If somebody deep freezes me, I know that a Shatter's coming up, and if I don't have a trinket to get out of that, or I know that a cleanse isn't going to get me, I'm just going to have to proc Shamistic Rage, because Shatters hit for incredible damage. So if you're in a Wreck Storm, you also want to be thinking about putting your Shamistic Rage up and just getting away from that damage, and it's really important that you're proccing Shamistic Rage a lot, I find, as Enhanced Shaman, because you just really need to keep the pressure on yourself down. Trinkets. I usually proc my trinkets at the same time that I'd proc wolves when I'm bursting. In duels, of course, that's situational again, so some people, like rogues, if you're dueling a rogue and you proc your wolves, they're likely to vanish, Shadow Cloak vanish, and reset the duel. So if you've got your trinkets still after that when they reopen, you still got a cooldown to sort of help yourself, but if you proc both and they Shadow Cloak vanish, you kind of lose all of your cooldowns and they're just going to tire you out and win, which a rogue should do anyway, so don't feel too bad if you lose to rogues at the moment. I think that's about all I can go through right now, so I hope this video helps.